Hey, Metal Maniacs, this is Chris from Stalker, and you're thrashing it up on Daif Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, here we go, Metal Maniacs. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Wellington, New Zealand, from Napalm Records speed metal band, recording artist Stalker. Joining us, we have guitarist Chris Calavrias and Daif King, the bass and vocalist. Welcome to the Metal Meltdown, guys. Haha. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm great to get with you. Yeah, as you have a brand new album out there, just released just a couple days ago, really. Majik Terror.
Majik Terror.
Yeah. And I was checking it out, and it sounds like a really fun offering. It sounds like you had a lot of fun making it, and it's a kick-ass metal offering.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah, we sure did, man. We had some good lockdown days making this doozy. It was a great time.
Yeah, this COVID thing. How much did it affect you in the recording process and getting this music out there? How is the COVID situation there in your neck of the woods?
The COVID situation is pretty good here. We don't have a lot going on with COVID anymore. We basically are back to normal. We've been normal for quite a while now.
We've had one case announced overnight, and that's a big deal. You know, it makes national news that there's one case. But there's no lockdown. We're gonna have our release party in a couple of days. It's gonna be sold out and almost everyone packing.
That's
just like the good old days. You know, really looking forward to it. You know, something about how small New Zealand is and where it is, sort of in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the ocean. We can sort of effectively handle that kind of thing, like better than other places.
Bit of being so far away. I never thought I'd say. Never liked being so far away, but at the moment this year, I think it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a real blessing.
Yeah, I get your point. I totally understand that, and I would have to agree. Yeah, the COVID situation, who knows here when it will ever end, but it's on the rise again because people are in social distancing and not wearing their masks.
Yeah, and I've been watching.
And that's a shame. But let's learn more about the band Stalker. I noticed through looking through the Encyclopedia Metallium, the band formed in 2016. So you're a relatively young band, and you have a killer release prior to this, the 2017 release, Shadow of the Sword. Now, I was listening to that as well.
Right.
Also, outstanding offering. So I want to congratulate you on these two fine releases. Really great work.
Thank you. Awesome. That's good to hear. Very good to hear.
And also,
Fantastic.
And I want to mention also your drummer, Nick Oates.
Oh yeah. What have we got? What about him?
He's your drummer. Just want to let him know. People know about him. Yeah. And so you're a three-piece, and you really have a great sound. And how did the band get its name? Who decided to call the name Stalker?
Where do we start?
I'll let Dave answer. But man, finding a band name these days that hasn't been used before is quite a mission in its own.
Yeah.
It's usually more about choosing a band name with the fewest amount of bands already attached to it.
Yeah.
You know what
I was trawling through metal archives, trying to see who's got what.
Who can you bully into submission? Who are you sure you're going to be better at?
without being sued by the other band that has the same name.
Yeah.
Or
right.
AD or
so,
ink at the end of the name. They do that as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
So I think we'd think of a few names, and then we'll go check out Metal Encyclopedia, and then find out that there's at least 50 called that, and then it's just okay next. But you want to talk about what the band name is about?
So there's this Andrei Tarkovsky movie by the same name, which was really formative for me. Stalker was done in 1979, Russian film. I don't know if you've seen it. So it's pretty incredible. It's a long watch. It's a punishing watch, but it was designed that way. It's about who cares what it's about? Anyway, I'm a big fan of that film. Also, there's an article I read by Michael Topper. He's a sort of a pretty weird dude. He talks about it's not a new theory, but the idea that there are higher entities feeding off the misery and sorrow of humanity, and he calls that stalking, and that's been like a core theme running through Stalker since day one. I think that idea that there's always humans aren't necessarily the top of the food chain. You know what I mean? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So yeah. It was that's enough.
Oh, well, that's quite an interesting story, and thank you for explaining that. Now let's learn what we can about the making of Black Majik Terror. If you could tell us who was responsible for the writing of the words and the music, how it all comes together, and then we'd like to know where was this all mixed, mastered, produced, what studio it was recorded in. We'd love to know this information.
Yeah, man, that sounds like a good set of questions. So the writing process, I guess, it's between me and Dave. We'll have some riffs, and once we're happy with a bunch of riffs for a track or something, we'll get together and flesh them out into, well, I guess we'll produce those riffs into a song. Sometimes the song's mostly written by Dave or me, and then we can see what additional things that we can add. We'll both often maybe possibly come up with a theme or a chorus type idea or a melody for the track, and then Dave goes away and pens the lyrics. That's pretty much, most of the songs are co-written, and if they're not co-written, yeah, Dave would have written most of one song or something.
So yeah, it's pretty 50-50 even split. You know, it's a really good working relationship.
Just the way it's been mostly, and it's worked out pretty well. So we have fun doing that. We do mainly catch up most of the time, but there's a bit of riff writing at home. What happens after that? So this album here, we kind of use the same process as last time. We record the drums with a good friend of ours in our home city that's been around the scene for about 15 years. He's an old punk dude and audio guy, so he knows what he's up to. So we get the drums done with him. Nick and this dude, his name's Vanya, they get along real good, so that's always a good time. After that, me and Dave will record most of the stuff together, the vocals and the guitars. And this time, after that was all done, we sent it to our friend Cam Sinclair, who runs Dynamic Rage Studios in Auckland. And this time we went up to his studio and sat with him for a couple of days and got this thing mixed. Well, he did a mix first, and then we kind of sat in on the mix and finished it off. This time round, he had brought a massive old console. I think it was from the 80s or 90s, massive console, and he spent the whole year refurbishing it and hot rodding it. So that by the time we were ready for mixing, this console was ready to go, and I think that really shined on the sound of the recording and the mixing when it came through. It just perfect for us. Once we heard it, we were like, yes, that's the one. So that's pretty much it then. And then it went off to our good friend Luke Rao, who used to live here in Wellington with us. He mastered it. He's in Hong Kong at the moment, and he mastered it, and that's about it. One more part of the puzzle was Bob Eggleton from Rhode Island. He was the artist that did the cover.
Which is my next leading question about the cover. It's quite a sick cover with the Cobra and everything. So tell us more about the cover, more about the designing of it. Yep. And if you can tell us about the band logo, who created that too, that would be great.
Yeah, man. Who created the logo?
Yeah.
Yep. Who did it?
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the cover's one of your own, an American, which is fucking awesome. Bob Eggleton, I think he's just turned 60 now. He was quite big in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, he was kind of more like he got quite roped into that whole Godzilla scene. He's quite famous for Godzilla, for a lot of Godzilla art. I think this time we reached out to an older dude just to get that authenticity of an oil painting. I mean, I know everyone can do oil paintings and shit, but we wanted one of the OG guys, you know. So I sent him out an email, and I'm surprised that he was still around painting and real keen, and he was probably more stoked than we were because he got to have his art on a vinyl cover finally for a heavy metal band.
Very interesting story.
Yeah, so the logo was done by what's that? Yeah, fucking awesome job. Really good job. Really happy with that. He's happy with that. I think the art is up in a gallery at the moment in Rhode Island for some exhibition, so that's good that he's getting some mileage out of the painting as well. But and people get to see it in real life because it's quite big. The logo was done by our good friend Harry Luxton, who's been working with us since day one. He's a local skater and designer here in New Zealand, and man, he's just so thankful for all his work. He kind of like packages up our design shit for like printing and all that stuff. So he takes a lot of jobs off our hands in terms of that, which is really cool. He's like the fourth member of our band, I guess.
Oh, very nice. That's excellent. That's excellent. And
yeah.
And
yeah.
What was your experience like in getting signed with Napalm? It's really, in this world we're living in, this day and age, it's very hard for bands out there to even get signed to a major label, a local label. They usually are either self-distributing it or just self-releasing it. So I'd like to know the story on how it was for you to get signed with Napalm. Man.
Yeah, so you're completely right with all of that. There's just so many bands, and there's also so many labels as well. It's quite overwhelming. I've had my hand in the underground scene for, probably 12, 14 years now. I had my old band, Razor Wire, and we kind of did everything ourselves, DIY, picked up underground label, Underground Power Records in Germany. And that was run by this guy called Helmet. And man, I had such a good relationship with this dude. I think our first album with my old band was the first album on his new label that he used to do a lot of shit in the 80s. And he brought his label back in 2000s. And ours was his first release on his new label, which was cool. Now he's got over 80 releases,
wow.
I think, in 10 years, which is huge. And he's a big player in the underground scene, which is fucking awesome. And I learned the ethics of the DIY, all that. It's grueling work, but there's no reason why you can't put things out yourself. The way the internet is these days, man, if you're good, people are gonna find you and hear you and buy your shit.
That's very true.
You're gonna. That's the good thing. Yeah, that's the good thing about heavy metal. I don't know about other genres, but heavy metal definitely. Or should I even say, old school heavy metal, new album, thrash, stuff like that. That's got a, you'll hear about it if it's good, whether you're on a major or not.
Yeah, I agree.
So this time round, we had our demo out for a couple of weeks or months, and I was prepared to. And actually, we worked with Helmet from Underground Power on our first demo. He re-released our demo on the 7-inch, which was cool. Now, after that, hadn't even thought about it, but the next step was, of course, record a full length and look for someone to work with. Now, if we couldn't find someone, that's cool, work with Helmet or do it ourselves. And I hadn't even started to look around or haven't even got any offers or anything. And an A&R dude from Napalm Records messaged us on Facebook. I think it was Daif messaged me and said, "Hey man, we got a message to reply to. It looks like someone taking the piss." Because you don't really get kind of messages, just unsolicited messages from a major label asking to have a chat.
So you thought it was a hoax?
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, at that time, we did think it was a hoax, because who would have thought anyone from them would want to listen to our demo and be interested? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got talking to him, and it turns out that he was just a major fan. He just loved it. I think he said that this was the kind of music that he liked when he was young, that got him into heavy metal, early Slayer type shit. And he said he's never heard that much passion, and it really brought him back to his good old days. So he said, "Look, I'm really into this music. I know you're a small band and you're new, but I want to put your next album out." And we were like, "Okay, that's cool." And he was like, "Let me talk to my boss. I'm back to you." So we're kind of like, "Fuck, man, this is kind of cool. We'll see what happens." His boss is probably going to say, "What the fuck you thinking about?" But boss was like, "Yeah, man, if you wanna sign these guys and release their album, then that's cool." So I think it was more of it was more of a release as a fan who was working for the label than it was for the label seeing, you know, the next big thing. Maybe we are the next big thing, but, you know, I highly doubt it in the style that we're playing because, you know, that can only be so big,
Right.
you know, underground heavy metal can only be so big. So anyways, boss said yes. Next thing we know, we signed the contracts, and that's it. First album came out on Napalm Records, and I'm extremely proud and happy. I mean, and a major label's probably maybe not the best fit. I mean, man, there's heaps of major labels now these days that have got metal bands of all sorts of genres, but you know, we just went with it. We're probably not going to have this opportunity again, and us being from little old New Zealand, could have as much help as we can for when we go. You know, obviously our end goal is to go to Europe a lot and play. So any help possible from small or major is I'm down with. And they have been fucking outstandingly cool. They have been so sweet the whole time.
News.
Just letting us do whatever we want. No questions asked. Just, you want to do that, you can do it.
That is great news, and that's a great story, and all because of a fan. And that's the best way, I guess. That's really the best way.
Yeah. Looking for a label can be quite, I guess it's kind of like looking for a job. You know, you're handing out your CV and people are saying no, and you're just getting beaten down, no. And so it's kind of nice to not have to go through that this time and someone come to us.
Yeah, so I'm very glad that worked out for you. Another congratulations again. And we were talking about the COVID situation earlier, and I want to ask about the future of tour support for Black Majik Terror. Have you been able to plan a tour for supporting this album, or because of COVID, has there been a delay in that? What is your story? What is your situation?
Good question. We have no tours planned. We've got one show which is coming up in a couple of days in our hometown. It's our album release party. And that's about it, man. I mean, we can go to a couple of other places in New Zealand, but right now we're just going to focus on the show and then maybe play a couple of shows over summer in New Zealand, but that's it. There's no way. There's no going anywhere out of New Zealand.
I understand that. Now, I noticed also that you've been in the past performing in quite a few nice places like Germany, Austria, New Zealand, of course, and Czech Republic. So I'm interested to know if you could talk about some of your fondest memories of these past shows. If there's anything that stood out in your mind that you'd like to discuss, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, you know,
I'll let Dave talk. I think he has a pretty fond.
You know, there's a little place in Europe. I don't know if many of your listeners have been there or not. It's a little country called the Czech Republic, and it's a lot like New Zealand in a lot of ways. You know, it's got a really strong do-it-yourself underground aesthetic to it. You know, they all drink pretty hard. They're all super welcoming and hospitable, and they have great taste. And they bring the energy 120% every day. It's a real hell of a place. And of course, Germany is just really well set up for metal. You know, there are so many stories. Being on the road, every second is a new story. It's overwhelming. Coming from New Zealand, you're not exposed to metal on such a level. You know, like I remember the first time we went to a festival, we would just look out at the sea of tents and just think, holy shit, you know, like these are all metal fans. Like here you'd see 150 metal fans in your city, and that's a lot, you know, for a night. You're overwhelmed, and you go there and you'll see a whole stadium full of bloody metal fans, and you can't believe your luck.
It's very impressive.
You know, it's not a thing here. An equivalent might be if you're from a small town somewhere, you know, Midwest United States, you know, and then you move to LA, and then holy shit, people go see live music. What is this? You know, it doesn't make any sense. It's crazy. So we're really thankful to, you know, any opportunity to get over there for any reason.
they just absolutely go nuts. They're hanging from the ceiling and everything. It's mental.
It's my town, man.
It's my favorite place to play for sure. We played there
That
twice.
sounds like a lot of fun over there. I've never been there, but I've never been to Germany either. But yeah, it sounds like a fun place to be to catch a metal show the way you're describing it. One of the most important things about these interviews is how to inform the listeners, the fans of the band, the fans of Stalker, how they could support the band by getting merch. So I want to give a couple of links. I want to give you Bandcamp. That's stalkerheavymetal.bandcamp.com. And your Facebook, Heavy Metal. Stalker Heavy Metal.
Stalker Heavy Metal. Yep, Stalker Heavy Metal. Find us on Instagram, Stalker Heavy Metal. And then we've got Big Cartel, Stalker Heavy Metal. So we're just waiting for some merch at the moment for our Bandcamp and our Big Cartel pages. That's directly comes from us in New Zealand, from the band. Apart from that, you can get the record from Napalm Records in North America, online shop. They pretty much ship it out pretty quick. And then if you're in Europe, you'll be redirected to the Napalm Records Europe store where you can get it online, and they ship it out pretty quick too. Apart from that, a lot of local distributors have got it, record stores. I don't know, I guess ask your record store if they can get it in. They should be able to get it in for you. Apart from that, everything comes from us. So, yeah, man, you can definitely check out those links and order the record or a T-shirt.
Very good. So beyond the T-shirt and the CD, do you plan on having other merch available for the fans? If so, please tell us what it might be.
Yep, it's come out on vinyl, 12-inch vinyl, gatefold. We've got 100 copies of Orange here in New Zealand for fans, which are pretty much all gone. We've got yellow with red dot from the label, special only, and then we've just got standard black. Also comes in 100 limited cassettes, which are going pretty fast too. And then CD, and then obviously download and streaming.
Right. Okay, cool. Very good. And let's talk about the videos to accompany the promotion of Majik Terror. I noticed there's a couple of videos out there, Holocenes End and Of Steel and Fire, the official music video. So could you tell the listeners out there about the making of these videos, and if Stalker plans on making any future music or lyrical videos?
Yeah, we just wrapped up a couple weeks ago the shooting of Holocenes End. That's, for those who haven't seen it, it's like a Z-grade horror shot on handycam with blood and guts and gore and boobs and drunks. It's the best fun you can have on screen. I definitely recommend going and checking that out. We shot it up at our local dump. We went out there and made friends with these people out there. C&D Landfill, for anyone in New Zealand who hasn't seen it. Yeah, where they basically, for a box of beers, they basically just gave us the key and a Jeep that they cut the roof off and welded some roll bars onto, and just said, just go at it, do whatever you want, you know. So that's quite an incredible opportunity.
Have you seen the? Did you catch the video for Intruder, the second video?
Intruder, I have not seen. No.
Okay, I'll send you the link after this, but basically that's where the landfill dump idea started. You know what a landfill is, eh? You've got dumps. Yeah, cool. Wait. Yeah, so we went up there, and it's like an industrial dump, so it's like a metal wasteland up there. And shit, what do we do? For Intruder, it was quite a simple idea, but we just got, 16 of our mates together, bought them some beer, and we just shot a video up there, just having fun.
Nice. And
then after that, we did part 2 of that video, which was Holocenes End, which was same location, but more scripted and, a little mini horror movie.
I did check that out. I was quite entertained. Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. And tell us more about Of Steel and Fire. This actually is the official
Yeah.
video, right?
Oh, Steel and Fire is the first single off the album, and that was just one of those band shoot videos. You know, we just asked our friend that owns one of the bars here in Wellington, New Zealand, again, just for the keys to his bar so we could shoot a video. Everything's real DIY here. We don't have a big budget. And these videos, they do take up a lot of time and money, but we got away pretty easy this time, by doing things pretty well, DIY really.
Yeah. I don't know if you know much about New Zealand or Wellington specifically, but it suffers quite badly from earthquakes.
I didn't.
So yeah, it's also one of the windiest cities in the world up there. So it's quite a bloody crazy place to live. The bar was relocating that we shot at. It was relocating because it needed to be earthquake strengthened, which is a massive thing here. Everybody's rents have gone up. If the next big one that hits, which is inevitable, most everybody's houses are going to go flat, and we're all going to get trapped in it. So yeah, we had to. They moved into a new place, and we just got the keys to it. No, I don't think they even had one single show there yet. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, so we were the first to use the bar before they even opened, which is cool.
Yeah, the only thing I know about New Zealand is the spring lamb, the green lip mussels, and of course split ends.
Oh man!
Oh yeah,
a man of a connoisseur.
It sounds like you know as much as most New Zealanders.
Really?
Do.
No. Yeah. I was a big fan of the split ends actually.
Oh, true. Yeah, they're really nice guys. You see them around now and again, just walking up and down the street. They're super nice.
Yeah. Daif and Chris, would you like to talk about your gear?
Oh Jesus, man! I have a short scale bass. I've only had the one bass the entire time. It's a piece of shit. It sounds awful, but you know I love it. It's my signature sound. You know, every sound man that I come up to, you know, they just kind of shake their heads and have a word with me afterwards. So it just sounds like shit. And I just have this, like, the more they say that, the more I love it. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. Yeah.
So it's a part of me now.
But it gets the job done, and the sound with the guitar's perfect.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah, man. So I'm quite a gearhead. Well, I used to be anyway. Obviously love a lot of guitars and stuff, but my favorite brands are Kramer and Jackson and Charvel. At the moment, my main Stalker guitar is a Charvel Star copy. I've had that for about 12 years. And my amp is a Eddie Van Halen 5150 Mark I, one of the originals. So that amp came out in 92 now, so still using the same amp. I've had that for 18 years now.
Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen.
Apart from, yeah, man. I use that, Charvel, and a delay pedal, and that's pretty much it.
Very nice. And what do you guys do when you're not doing the band? Do you want to talk about your other jobs you may have?
Yeah, man. I mean, pretty much at the moment, or for the last 2 years or so, it's taken up nearly all of our time, which is perfect. It's how we have it. It's how you get things done. But I work in a knockoff Apple repair store. That's my day job. And if I'm not doing that, I love skateboarding. So that's pretty much my love and hates, work and skating.
Okay.
I work in a sound and film archive, so I'm exposed to a lot of rad shit every day. Like right after this, I'm going to go visit one of the vaults and help lift some shit around, some props from old New Zealand films. You know, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
I see.
I'm pretty lucky to get paid just to hang out with you know, fucking history. It's cool.
Hey, well, Dave and Chris, I want to thank you for taking the time today on Metal Meltdown to talk about your brand new offering and spending time with us here so we can learn more about Stalker. At this time, is there anything that you'd like to say to your fans that are tuning in?
Go out and vote.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, man, Dave, thanks for having us. It's been awesome. Really appreciate it. Right?
You guys, and I wish you and all in Stalker a great what's left of 2020, and may you have many more successful years to come. Let's go crank up some more Stalker now. Crank it up, Metal Maniacs. Thank you, guys.